Now, it has been 7 days since the deadly quake struck Syria and Turkey. The situation is more grave in Syria, which has already been ravaged by a decade-long civil war. People in Syria are now fighting to survive following the aftermath of the natural disaster. The World Health Organization has warned of a rise in risk of infectious diseases in northern Syria. The Syrian government has now declared 4 provinces which are worst affected as disaster areas. Our correspondent Ghadi Francis is in one of the disaster areas in Syria and is joining us live from Jabal Latakia. Ghadi, what do you gather from the ground? What do you see around you?
Right now, I am in front of the most popular place in Jabal because it is one of the few that got really big attention over the media because there was a very special story here. 5 days after the earthquake, a mother and a child were saved from under the rubble. This building is called a Rihawi building. The whole building is down. More than 50 people died in the building. So the story of the rescue was really optimistic, and it gave a lot of hope all around here because after 5 days they were able. The thing is, I'm just being corrected that 58 people died here. The numbers, as you can see, are never accurate because there are so many contradicting numbers from different sides. This probably is because of the very scarce resources in registering and gathering the rubble. I had communicated with everyone inside. The operation of removing the rubble is still ongoing. I just saw a man. His last name is Rihawi. So the building is named after their family. He's just standing there for the 6th day after the earthquake. He said, "I'm just waiting to see if in the rubble I can save or salvage anything from my workshop." He has an aluminum workshop. So people here, their businesses have gone, of course, in addition to the big losses of life. In Jabal, it is where really the problem of the sanctions is articulated in the daily life. Because here I just saw people pumping gas from cars to cars. Fuel, medicine, basic necessities are very hard and scarce in this part of Syria. This part, Jabal and Latakia in general, has always remained under the control of the Syrian government. Therefore, any sanctions over the Syrian government are here, they are felt mostly. Now, we will move on to other areas. The thing is, in Jabal, it is a central town and many small villages around. In these small villages, which are rural and they don't have a lot of infrastructure, some places, up until now, the total villages have been flattened. The thing is, we're going to go and try to check that out. I'm being told by the locals here that there are 5 or 6 such buildings just like Rihawi, where the operation of removing the rubble is still ongoing, whereas in some of the villages that are high on the mountains, nobody even reached it. One more conversation that was really important I had with the man holding the truck and the operation. He's an old man. He's like 70-year-old man. So I asked him, "Why are you here? Who do you work for?" And then I discovered that the whole operation is from the private sector, not even the government. So there's a contractor from the local area, the contractor from the city or the city close here. He sent his gear and machinery to remove the rubble. There's no official doing that. It's just people helping people. This is what is happening in Jabal right now, in the central town, Jabal. And in the coming lives and reports on WION, we will show you what's happening in the villages and in the rural areas.
Ghadi, we've seen devastating visuals of these entire colonies which have been reduced to rubble. Now, that obviously means there are a lot of people who have been displaced, entire families, in thousands or probably even more. How is Syria handling the displaced families, or is it the private sector coming in to help in there as well?
Well, in that sense, no. It is actually in Syria, the private and the general sector, they are all intertwined in this crisis. You can see non-governmental organizations working alongside with the municipalities, alongside with the rescue teams, with the Syrian Arab Red Crescent. So everybody is trying to pitch in. You cannot really differentiate between the Syrians in such crisis. And this is something that was positive about this calamity, that they are really helping each other. But the thing, you asked me about the displaced. The number that has been going around town is 5 million Syrians have lost their homes. Because it's not only the buildings that were flattened, it is also, sir, the buildings that are cracked and are endangered of collapsing. The evacuation process is still going in Aleppo, as we saw yesterday, and we reported, and we're still reporting on WION.
Yes.
The evacuation process is also very hard.
Thank you for all those updates, Ghadi. We'll be keeping you up to date with everything happening in Turkey and Syria.